Federal Executive Council directs talks to avert looming health strike.
NEC approves grassroots development, strengthens emergency response nationwide.
Floods submerge Maiduguri homes and residents count heavy losses.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall discuss brain health for all ages.
And so we talk a lot about physical fitness in this country, but not nearly enough about brain health. In the meantime, the brain is literally the engine room. If it's not in good shape, then nothing else runs smoothly.
You're absolutely right, Victor. And it's not just about old age or mental illness. Everyday stress, lack of sleep, even poor diet, and maybe some money not in your pocket. Of course, these things can, take you away from a healthy brain.
Indeed, and that's why this morning we are going to continue to put the spotlight where it matters on the brain. What causes damage, what we can do to prevent it, and how to care for this powerful yet very fragile organ. We are picking up from last Friday's conversation on brain health.
Now imagine this, scenario, maybe a bad fall or untreated infection, and someone's life could actually change forever as a result of damage to the brain.
Indeed, I remember many falls myself as a kid, and even as a teenager, secondary school student. I had a terribly bad one, that had me caught on my head.
But have you had your brain checked?
Well, isn't my brain functioning as it is?
We need to check that.
But many Nigerians don't have access to quick quality neurological care. But the good news is that treatments exist. And from surgery to therapy and simply knowing the warning signs, lives might just be saved.
So true. Now, which is why we're sitting down with top experts like we did last week to break down, all of this just so you can understand and maybe help someone out so that they can make crucial early decisions.
Just recently, the federal government launched a national plan to overhaul brain and care. Finally, it seems we're seeing brain health treated like the national emergency that it truly is.
Yeah, better late than never. This new plan could mean more neuro specialists, better trauma centers, and possibly early detection programs in our communities.
So whether it's prevention, treatment, or government policy, this conversation is long overdue. So we urge you to stay with us as we explore the human brain, its wonders, its weaknesses, and how we can protect it
Of course.
in a better way.
Yeah, it's the engine room of your body, so you want to stay put with us. I'm Ian Ray John. This is Good Morning Nigeria, live on the network service of the NTA. We're reaching you right here at our headquarters in Abuja. And just in case you do not know, this is the largest TV network in Africa. Shortly, Musa Babaliu. Did I say Musa Babaliu? Oh, well, that's our agricultural correspondent. We've got another Musa here. He's Musa Abubakar. He's on the business desk and is a powerful
The one I like to call Alhaji Musa.
He's got all the news for us this morning. Musa, good morning to you. By the way, Victor,
Hello,
have you changed your name? I don't think I
I'm
heard
considering it.
Oh, good one. Musa, please hit us with the morning news.
Hello, good morning to the both of you. Here's the news. The Federal Executive Council meeting has focused on health and infrastructure with a presidential directive for the Federal Ministry of Health to continue dialogue with professional bodies to avert a looming industrial action by workers in the sector. The Council also approved the implementation of the National Industrial Policy 2025 for the Ministry of Labor and Employment.
This is a listening government. The circulars were withdrawn, and now we're in the process of negotiating in a transparent manner the increment in allowances so that we meet those health workers on the needs that they have expressed.
The National Economic Council has approved a renewed Hope Word-based development program to be funded by revenues accrued by government. The Council has also approved the strengthening of state emergency management agencies and the creation of local emergency operation centers across the country.
Advocated for the need for collaboration between the national government and subnational government, for a committee to be set up so that governors and the national government will work together for earlier actualization of this project.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has generated 2.5 billion naira from its recent raids on illicit drug markets in Lagos, Onitsha, and Aba. At an interactive session before the House of Representatives Committee on Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC stated that the funds were realized from fines remitted by traders found guilty of selling fake or substandard drugs. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojishola Adeye, revealed that the recent enforcement operations cost the agency almost 1 billion naira. The Police Service Commission, PSC, has disowned a recent announcement calling for applications into the Nigeria Police Academy. The Commission says the announcement violates established procedures and was released without its knowledge or input. The Commission insists it holds the exclusive constitutional authority to recruit into the Nigerian police force and has condemned the unilateral action of the police academy. The Kwara State High Court in Ilorin has convicted and sentenced Abdurrahman Bello to death by hanging over the gruesome murder of Hafso Lawal. The four co-defendants in the case have been acquitted of criminal conspiracy. Now, heavy rainfall in recent days has triggered severe flooding in several parts of Maiduguri and its environs, submerging homes, shops, and major roads. Although the water has receded in some areas, leaving no viable trace of the havoc, but left behind a trail of destruction, and residents are now counting their losses. Women from 6 area councils in the Federal Capital Territory, represented by the National Council for Women's Societies, have adopted the First Ladies in Every Home a Garden initiative to promote food security and economic empowerment among women. In a sensitization program on backyard farming, the society and allies train the women in different farming techniques to ensure healthy food and bumper yields. This training will enable the women to effectively implement the initiative and improve their livelihoods. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has called for Africa's inclusion in the United Nations decision-making system. He emphasized that the continent with over the population of 1.4 billion should not be relegated. The Speaker noted that the Nigerian Parliament has embraced parliamentary cooperation among countries, especially with its legislative diplomacy. Now that's the news for now. Good morning, Nigeria continues after the break.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we swear in color, GMN, the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Hey Nigeria, ready to breathe cleaner air and save money? Let's talk about gas. Drive with CNG, the smart, cost-effective choice. Fill up for less and travel further. Save money, save the planet. Switch to LPG for cooking. It's cleaner, healthier, and better for environment. Say goodbye to smoke and eye problems. Do you know Nigeria is a gas nation ranked 9th globally with over 209 trillion cubic feet of gas reserve? Gas isn't just for cooking and driving. It powers industries too. Cleaner, cheaper, and more efficient. And the best part, conversion centers are popping up everywhere. It's never been easier to switch to gas. Join the cleaner energy revolution. Choose LPG for cooking and CNG for your vehicles. Clean energy for brighter future. This message is brought to you by the Office of the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, supported by the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA.
The Nigeria Coat of Arms is the official seal that represents the authority of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, hung on the wall behind the seat of the principal officer of the government, supported by the portrait of the serving president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It has 7 features. The black shield stands for Good Earth of Nigeria. The silver wavy band stands for the confluence of rivers Niger and Benue. The 2 white horses stands for dignity. The yellow flora is a common wildflower throughout Nigeria. The red eagle stands for strength. The wreath is in our national colors of green, white, green. The motto, unity and faith, peace and progress, is written on a beautiful yellow ribbon, and it's a maxim for all Nigerians. Be a real Nigerian.
Have you heard the news? The federal government of Nigeria, through its direct benefit transfer program, has started the disbursement of 75,000 naira per household in 3 installments of 25,000, 25,000, 25,000 naira. Each recipient must have a validated national identification number, NIN, to receive the payment on behalf of their household members. To benefit, your household must be in the National Social Register of Poor and Vulnerable Households in Nigeria. The federal government's direct benefit transfer program is helping to reduce the effect of suffering while promoting financial and economic inclusion for the poor and vulnerable population in Nigeria.
Ìjọba fún wa ní 75,000. NIN ni mí àti káàdì ìdásílẹ̀ ọgbà. Nígbà tí mo sì gbà, mo ń fi ṣe nǹkan tó dáa, mo ra oògùn nínú rẹ̀. Mo ra oúnjẹ tí màá jẹ nínú rẹ̀. Mo sì wọkọ̀ mi náà ń bẹ. A sì fi yòókù ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ajé pé ká tó máa rí gbé bá. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba wa òkè.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, in collaboration with the National Social Investment Programs Agency, National Social Safety Nets Coordinating Office, and the National Cash Transfer Office.
The Nigerian national flag represents our country's history, culture, and identity. It was designed in 1959. The colors are Emerald Green 2.0, which represents agriculture, and Immaculate White represents unity and peace. Know how to handle our flag. Illuminate the environment or don't fly the flag overnight. Do not fly a dirty or tattered flag. Take such flag to the nearest National Orientation Agency office for proper disposal and replacement. The national flag can only be flown at half-mast on the directive of the federal government. The national flag must be flown at the same or higher height when displayed alongside other flags. Don't burn or allow the national flag to fall on the ground. Do not print, decorate, modify, or insert the coat of arms on the flag. Our national heroes are not buried with the flag. They are honored by presenting it to their next of kin during internment. Respect our national flag. Be a real Nigerian.
This message was brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
All right, this is still Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. Let's now take a look at today's papers and see what is happening nationwide.
right, Chukwudi Okoli Ugbaja is right here with us. Good morning to you, sir. How you doing this Friday?
I'm okay, but I'm really enthralled by what you have on.
Thank you.
Really looked sartorially splendid.
Wow.
I hope I confused you.
Did you hear the grammar?
Absolutely, you succeeded.
Good morning, Victor.
Good morning. All right.
Let's see what the papers have this morning. I just hope that Chukwudi has not succeeded in confusing me. So let me begin with the business NG. Yeah, the business NG leads with bank stocks at risk as dilution looms. You want to find out what that's about. The business NG will guide you. Above that, we have FCMB. MREIF launched $10 billion mortgage scheme to tackle housing deficit. All right, page 2 has that. And stock market trust erodes as investors fume over unpaid dividends. Interesting. And finally, we have fuel price surge. Petrol hits 1,037 naira. Diesel 1,814 naira, according to the NBS. Not a good one. That's on page 2. All right, let's see what the blueprint is offering this morning. The blueprint, of course, leads with different stories. Right here, the lead one is on politics. Amid legal tussle, AGC crisis deepens. Deputy Chair Nafiu declares self-chairman. The writers labels Atiku, Mark, Eric Bishola, political hijackers. Lagos PDP expels defected members. All right, interesting times ahead. Above that lead story, we have Nigeria's pension fund assets increased to 24.63 trillion naira in June 2025. Above the masthead, 13% derivation. Niger drags AGF to Supreme Court, seeks interpretation of Section 232. All right. Page 18 will guide you on all of that. Below the picture stories right here, we have federal government, states, local governments, more 8.8 million jobs across 8,809 electoral wards. And below that, Tinubu extends custom CG Adeniyi's tenure. Congratulations. That's on page 21. Landslide kills 3 in Plateau mining site, and that's on page 13. Finally, no visible sign of unrest. Our business is safe in Ghana. That's coming from the federal government and Nigerians over there. Page 6 has all of that. All right, Victor.
Thank you, Henry. And I have the Leadership Friday. The major story here reads, nurses, midwives strike. Many critically ill patients are being rejected, says UUTHCMD. We are caught unawares because we never anticipated the negotiation would fail. We were not prepared for this kind of emergency. Well, that story is on page 7. And just above the nameplate, Emir of Gudi, Yobe State, dies at 75. It's on page 12. ADC dismisses Nafiu Bala's claim to party's chairmanship, releases his resignation letter as Deputy National Chairman dated May 2025. That story is also on page 7. And just right inside the nameplate, FG approves 68.7 billion naira to light up 8 universities, hospitals, and rural businesses. You can get details of that on page 19. And coming towards the bottom, final 3 to go, Niger goes to Supreme Court over exclusion from 13% derivation fund. It's on page 10. Man to die by hanging for murder of Kwara College student is on page 2. And Ondo governorship, appeal court upholds Ayedatiwa's victory is on page 14. And finally, before I bring Chukwudi in, Armed Forces Radio has blocked terrorist propaganda and misinformation, says the CDS. Chukwudi.
Yeah, Victor, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you. We would be right to say, then don't start again, no. ADC chairmanship tussle already. you know, when politics is one that is pushed by total absence of ideology, you don't get anywhere in terms of pursuing a specific purpose for the people. That's what you see in politics in Africa. The excuses people gave that make them depart from parties in Africa, you know, cross the carpet to the other party and all that. Though you would see even more cogent reasons to do that in parties in the UK, the US, yet the people stay where they are because they got there in the first place on the basis of a belief in something. A belief in something. It is the absence of that belief in something that tends to be devil politics in Nigeria. And so I'm not surprised to hear that ADC is having a tussle already over who is chairman. They are dismissing Nafiu Bala's claim to the party's chairmanship. Okay. Here we have they released his resignation letter as deputy national chairman dated May 2025. So they are proving to him that he had vacated the... Anyway, what we are interested in is for them to get their act together for the benefit of Nigerian people. Because politics creates leaders. Leaders drive development for the people. If the foundation is weak, the product, which is going to become a flag bearer for the people's interest, is not going to be the best you hope for. We pray that they get their act together because I keep saying that the more the merrier. A situation where only the APC is there to, you know, rule us on and on and on is not one that I personally want to say, hey, hooray to. The more the merrier.
But if someone resigned in May, on what basis do you lay claim to
You're going to hear him say something different. Victor, don't go there. Don't even try it.
Well, that's what we are
May 2025,
analyzing.
May 2025, they are saying that he had tendered his resignation. But the man is going to come up with, no, technicalities will dwell therein. And you're going to hear a different story entirely. But we want more actors on the political scene so that we are, you know, space for choosing.
That's a very interesting story. But what's interested me this morning in the papers, two stories particularly. The first is the nurses' midwife strike. I think Victor read that. Many critically ill patients are being rejected, says UUTHCMD. I mean, this is the situation in all government facilities, health facilities across the country. And I do think this is a good situation.
No. Thank you for mentioning present and immediate danger. This one is about the people. The first implication is that they are rejected. If they are rejected, it becomes a death sentence for some critically ill people who cannot afford walking over to that private hospital to take over what the public hospitals cannot handle. It becomes a death sentence for them immediately.
Exactly.
Then, of course, the next thing is that for those who can even think about crossing over to the private clinic to continue what the public cannot do because the nurses are on strike, there is the implication of more money. It becomes a more expensive, overture or venture. So it's an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
And then it gives quacks opportunity to thrive.
That's another implication. Yes. I remember when we were in the university, one guy, each time he wanted to toast ladies, he had a stethoscope around his neck. And he was not a medical student, you know.
Very sad.
He was in the social sciences.
I just hope that they deal with the issue.
I've been hearing and seeing quacks all my life.
So ladies fall for doctors.
Of course. Some ladies
they fall for quacks faster than the
I don't know why that ladies are falling for doctors anymore. The situation has changed. Doctor will not feed the family.
Anyways, I hope that, this strike thing is not really a funny matter.
It's not a funny matter.
To think that the doctors too are warming up to also go for another strike. I mean,
yes.
This needs to be handled seriously. Just for,
You were not here yesterday when we said, it was actually one of the guests I got it from. He said, doctors come in 10 minutes, do the ward rounds and drop their expert advice.
With the nurses.
He said, it is the nurses that actually go through the toil of patient management.
True.
These people are very important. Don't play down their relevance. Don't try for 1 second. It's unfortunate. You mentioned the second thing.
Fuel prices.
Yeah, that's a good one. I also had it in mind.
In fact, as I was driving to work this
Hmm.
morning, there's a particular filling station where I fuel my car.
Yes.
Each time I'm passing through that route, I always check for the pump price.
Mhm.
When I checked this morning, I saw it has gone higher than I bought last
maybe
week.
it's at 10 naira.
Excuse me?
No,
More than 10 naira.
No, I still see 890.
No, as of this morning, I saw 970 naira, and the papers are saying 1,037 naira. I'm sure in some papers.
So what should concern a curious journalist, is what caused it and what is the likelihood that it's going to go beyond 1 week. It's likely to drop again. Somebody is already complaining that Natural Oil and Gas Suppliers Association of Nigeria, NOGASA President Benedict Okorie, is warning that Dangote's resolve to distribute fuel directly to stations is going to cause some kind of hiccup in the supply chain. I don't care what the hiccup is all about. There's no law against Dangote supplying directly. I don't think there's such a law. The Petroleum Industry Act has already, handled all that. So my own is it going to help us drop prices at the end of the day? I think it's all market forces working on all that. I don't think this is going to last.
I hope it drops.
I don't know the reason.
We're moving towards harvest season. If this price increases or continues this way,
I can assure you it's not increasing. Let's find out why it happened so that our analysis will be most accurate.
All right. And Niger goes to Supreme Court over exclusion from 13% derivation fund.
Yes.
The state says, well, we also produce natural, we also have natural resources, we host dams.
Yes, even though we don't get a lot of electricity, Anyway, the point is this: what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If really we appreciate the fact that our biggest dam is located on that access, some kind of compensation should go to them.
I think it depends
you
on
don't
what.
have to
You are
have
questioning the provision of the law. Appears to be a bit ambiguous.
Ambiguous.
It talks about natural resources, I guess, from
Yes.
what I'm reading. And so they say, look, we also have natural resources. Perhaps oil has been given the edge so far.
Yeah, maybe the contention is that the environmental degradation that happens when you exploit oil and all that, but you're talking about the gravity of side effects and all that over there. It doesn't mean that the people in Niger, for instance, are also not suffering something from they're offering residency to a major power generating, source. I think it's something that should be looked into. As I said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let them look into the merits of what they are talking about and behave accordingly. That's what I think.
And thankfully, what we've been told to round off, thankfully, this headline, gives me joy. No visible sign of unrest. Our businesses are safe in Ghana.
It tells you that the leaders of the countries are working. Somebody was telling a Ghanaian protester was telling the president, you must not handle this with levity. You must do this. It shows that their president is preaching restraint. He's a true African.
Right.
And we now have to restrain you so that we can end this segment.
Because I'm naturally talkative. No problem.
All right. Chukudi, thank you very much.
Monkey no finding mama like her.
We like you. We'll see you again on Monday.
Bye-bye, guys.
Good Morning Nigeria continues after this break. Please stay with us.
I am pleased to announce encouraging news from the National Bureau of Statistics, which released the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, for April 2025, only yesterday. According to the report, the headline inflation rate for April stood at 23.71%, This represents a decrease of 0.52% from the 24.23% recorded in March 2025. Similarly,